No. The short answer is no. Nano is not. Then number two. Number two. It's when does not even forget to learn what does because he was very excited.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितां येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन कदा ददाति शपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुरा श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुना वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहोगण रघुनाथनितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सवधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहोगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमाते जयपताका स्वामिनीति नामिने नमो आचार्य पादाय निताय कृपा प्रदायिने गौड़कथतमदाय नगर ग्राम तारिणे जयोस् नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमाते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So we are starting today that actually I started before the Ramayana, the teachings of the Ramayana. So most of the devotees are requesting that I should start again the Ramayana, especially the English class. Then we can at least to get together in a week, 3 days. The Saturday, Monday, and Thursday, we are Indian time, 6 o'clock. We are starting our this Ramayana class. What we can get the teachings, and also same time we know the beautiful story that what is really the for our life is very important to know about. Prabhupada in his class, he most of the time he says that as much as we can hear about the Lord and the Lord pastimes, that much we can more devote it, more we can be to connect with the Krishna. Just like in material world, if we want to connect to something, we need to speak something to know about that person or that things. Then we can make a connectivity. So last time I started Ramayana, it was 2 classes I gave. Now I starting the third class. This book actually written, I mean translating by His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj. So from that book, I will read it and try to understand, just like you try to come and attend the class. So then you also to get the some important lessons. So we are trying to like a 40 minutes, 45 minutes we every day, every week, 3 days we are trying to read. So we have a lot of some devotees are joining. Um, so more devotees trying to joining in our this class actually, and giving the another place also live, that is in my Instagram, because there are most of the foreign devotees. So Ramayana is started to reading from there. If you want to get the first and second class, then you can get in my YouTube. There is a Ramayana, the teachings of Ramayana is there. So thank you so much that you are trying to listening this class. So I start to read that. The sage Balmiki then journeyed to the bank of the river Tamasa, accompanied, accompanied by his disciple Bharatdas. At the river bank, Balmiki sat down to imitate upon the words of Sri Naroda. You can see there is one teachings that whenever the guru or the spiritual person is walking or moving here and there, if we are just with them to accompany with them, then we can get some so many lessons. Prabhupada always to say all the things, even our moral lesson also says everything we cannot to get by the books. Something we can get the teachings from the association, from their just like speaking. So sometime uh, some teachings you can get at the Exalted Personalities Association. So any spiritual person or any like a highly educated people, if we are just to associate with them, then we can learn so many things from them. So that's why when Balmiki uh, journeyed to the bank of the Tamasa with his disciple Bharatdas, so Balmiki sat down to imitate upon the words, sat down to meditate upon the words of Narada. Sitting within the forest, Valmiki happened to see a pair of cranes fully absorbed in sexual intercourse and singing a melodious jubilation. At that time, a malicious hunter of the Nishad race appeared from his hiding place and released a an arrow and pierced the body of the male bird, causing it to fall shrinking to the ground. Then, upon seeing her mate that withering upon the ground and smeared with blood, the she bird cried out in the terror, having suddenly been cast down from the height of the sensual pleasure to the depth of despair. It's a natural that when a just like a husband is just to husband or beloved is like a getting some pain or hurting or leave the body, the ladies generally become um, she become like a cried or she was hurting. So the female bird that was totally become exhausted, broken down to see that position. When Balmiki witnessed this tragic scene, feeling of the great compassion welled up within his breast. Considering the Narada's violent act to be extremely sinful, considering the Nishad's violent act to extremely sinful. It is one of the teachings we can get. Whoever become a exalted person, he will something some like a paining things or hurting things, immediately his heart become compassion. Prabhupada is always to say, if you want to be a great personality or a Mahatma, you need to be the compassion to the other souls. Sometime in this material world, people are saying we are loving to the people, but our Bhagavad Gita said we not to love the people. We have to love the every souls. Not like that I love my father, I love my mother, I love my husband, wife, children. So those who are the animals, we should not love them. They have also the uh, soul is there. That's why when that Balmiki saw that 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 bird, the female bird, is falling down and crying for his beloved, he was immediately getting some compassion. It's a sign of a Mahatma. So if we want to be a great, first we have to be a grateful to the other person. So whenever we can see that other person is suffering, even he is my enemy, he is my greatest enemy, still my heart is become compassionate. Just like we can see from the Bhagavad Gita, the Kauravas giving some so much tremendous hearting to the Pandavas, but still Arjuna's heart become compassionate to see the his all the family member standing to coming for the fighting. So immediately he stopped. He just fell down his bow and arrow. He crashed down and he started to crying like that. Oh Krishna, how can I just to fight with them? It's a mood of a Mahatma. So whenever we see some beggar, when we walk on the street, we can see some beggar or some like a poor people or some hard labor people. They are so much desperately just to hardworking. We have to get some compassion. A compassionate person become very near and dear to the Lord. That is the teachings we can. How Balmiki Muni become a great soul? Because Balmiki Muni to see even the bird is to getting some pain, to see is her beloved is totally the broken down. Immediately his heart is coming to the compassion. That's why the Balmiki Muni become the great personalities. But modern days, our heart is so strong because we are just to roaming and moving in the hard world where everybody is jealous, everybody is a pride, everybody is a cheater. That's why our heart like a concrete and our we are walking, we are living in the concrete world. Prabhupada always to say a devotee should stay in like a greenery place, like a village, farming land, then heart becomes soft to see the other person pain and just like a hurting our also heart is also coming to that mood compassionate, so compassion will come. So the nishad violent act to extremely sinful, the Balmiki Muni was thinking. Balmiki become angry and cursed the hunter, saying, "O killer of the bird, as a punishment for your heartless murder of an innocent creature engaged in gratifying his mate, may you never find a peace of mind for endless year." So immediately Balmiki Muni gave the cards. You know, not to considering. It is one of the teachings for that for us. Whenever we see something, immediately we should not to curse it. We should first to investigating what is the real matter. Sometimes those who are mood of passion, they cannot to control this. Something is coming to mind or mouth, immediately say. No, something happened, we should be very passion. I mean, like a cool down and investigate, then we can say something. Otherwise, it will not to be good for our life. So Valmiki Muni immediately just saw that condition, saw the situation, immediately is giving the cards that you will endlessly to never can get the peace in your life. However, no sooner was these cards uttered than Valmiki felt a pangs of shame for becoming a victim of uncontrolled anger. This is another teaching. Sometimes the great personalities sometimes become raised and doing some like a angry mood to do something or uttering something, some bad word or bad situation is created. Later they are regretting. This is the quality of a Mahatma. But those who are normal people, those who are foolish people, in their passionate mood, they do something unnecessary thing or just like a illegal things. After that, when they understand they did something wrong, but still they never become submissive. That's why because they are arrogant. But a devotee, but a great soul, when understand their fault, immediately be surrendered. So Valmiki understand I did some offense. It is not, I should not to give the cards like this. I am a sadhu. Why am just to do like this? So immediately he is feeling so pangs of shame for becoming a victim of uncontrolled anger. So this is also one of the another teachings. Anger is a very dangerous. Anger can take and dragging to me in the in like a uncontrolled situation. That's why we always to try to be control our another teachings for here. Why people heart is coming to the anger. Bhagavad Gita Krishna said, Kamo esho krodosho. When you have a expectation, that time your heart is coming the anger. Because as soon as you never can just to fulfill your expectation, immediately your heart become the full of anger. That's why in this material world, we want to be free from this anger. We want to be peace in our life. We have to be free from the expectation. We should not be expecting from others. Rather, we should expecting from ours. Because we are most of the time become anger, become jealous, become aggressive for the expecting from other person. But when we are try to be expecting from our life, expecting from our situation, expecting from our capability, then it will more enhance in our success. But main problem in our life, we are expecting from others. Oh, why not like my children like this? Oh, why not my family like this? Oh, why not my uh, devotees like this? Oh, why not my friends like this? Oh, why not my wife like this? My husband like this? And for these things, we are become angry. And that angriness is not to hamper something to them, even never to change them. Rather, we are just to uncontrol and doing something wrong. So we should control, we should try to be control ourselves. So, and now you can come to the question that how we can control ourselves, how we can control our anger. The as much as you are hearing the holy speech, like a Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, as much as you hear, that much you can control yourself. That much you can control. But if you are not to listening, you can't control. Can't control. Because the power of Holy Katha, there is a special spiritual potency. First time if you are hear this word, maybe you're thinking, how is it possible? You never. Only hearing the Holy Katha cannot to control myself. But you try 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, you try, you'll see your internal just like a aggressive mood, your excited mood slowly become cool down. But you have to practice. So after that, indeed, as an enlightened soul, he knew that all living beings are acting helplessly under the influence of material nature. So now Balmiki Muni understand we are everybody under the control of the material nature because we are in material world. So what we should do? We should not to keep ourselves in the under the material nature. We should keep ourselves under the spiritual nature. That's in spiritual life. Then we can control ourselves. Thus, he regretted and retailing against the hunter. At the same time, Balmiki was astonished that the cards he uttered had come from his mouth in a wonderfully poetic manner. He's a little bit in thinking when he's uttering the card. It is coming to a poetic meter, not like a aggressive. It's a poetic meter. So you can see when people are doing something wrong, to there is a teachings from the Ramayana. When you do something wrong or bad word or bad things you did, you need to just to look over that situation again and again and again. Then you can get some lesson. How can you stop it? Just like I'm giving you one of the example. You always to see something just like uh, one of the example. If you see that your friend, whenever coming in front of you and to see the face, immediately you become angry. But you again and again look over that situation. Why I'm angry? Because my friend is coming in front of me, whom I don't like him. That's why I'm becoming angry. So again and again, that situation you are just like a little bit in uh, just investigating, then you understand actually my friend is coming in front of me. That make me angry. The angry is that when my friend is coming in front of me, immediately I wanted to see him. And when I see, I'm become raised, become angry. So what I will do from tomorrow, when he will come, I should busy myself in another one. Then I don't need to look at him, and I never been become angry. So we can learning from the Ramayana. The Balmiki Muni did a wrong thing and he look over his wrong thing again and again and he got a good qualities from there. What? That he uttered the sound in a poetic meter. In a poetic meter. So it is our scripture saying in this material world, even in the bad things, if you look at the very spiritual vision, you can get some instructions from there. So indeed, his cards seem to hint of the predominant emotional expression of Ramayana, which had been contemplating since his meeting with Sri Narada. Before to meet with the Narada, his mind is contemplating to Ramayana. That's why the poetic meter is coming. Because the Ramayana will write in a poetic meter. That's why this is the arrangement of the Lord, that before he just to raised him, and even in a raised situation, his poetic meter is coming. Discussed Balmiki to remark to his disciple Bharadas, from my sorrow came a verse of 4 lines, each containing 8 syllables from Shoka, lamentation, has come a wonderful sloka. For without any compassion, there is no possibility of genuine poetic expression. So it is a teachings for us. Without the compassion in our heart, any poetic expression, any spiritual expression never can come. So this is the teachings for us, that if our heart is not to be compassion for other souls, other person, then something, the spiritual expression, spiritual vision never can come. We can see the butcher in our society. His heart never come to the spirituality. Why? Because his heart is ruthless. His heart is so aggressive. But those heart, generally we can see the ladies become devoted too much better than the male. Why? Because ladies' heart is more compassionate than the male. That's why they are quickly become devotee. That's why Ramayana, Valmiki Muni says that as soon as my compassion is coming to that bird, immediately my genuine poetic expression is coming. So if we not to show some compassion to others, God will not to, Krishna will not to give us some extraordinary things. Just like our Prabhupada, before he went to the Western world, he was so compassionate. He went to the Western world, see some hippies, some drunkard, those who are taking alcohol. Prabhupada's heart was so compassionate. Oh, these people, to forget the Krishna, to forget the Vedic culture, they are just wasting their life. For this compassion, Krishna make him one of the like an instrument to give them the spirituality, to give the spirituality to that person. So it is our teachings. If our heart not to prepare like a compassion, you see, compassion is like a softness. Just like you can get one of the example. If you wanted to seedling the seed in the field, you need to first prepare your land, your field in a soft and sober. Then you put some seed, immediately the grown up, the nice flower tree or whatever, the crops will come. Same, if our heart is so strong, so hard, there you cannot to expressing or cannot to blooming the spirituality. You need to be the compassion. We can see the Draupadi, 5 children, Draupadi was killed by the Ashwatthama. Still, her heart was so soft. Arjun, don't kill. Don't kill my guru's son. That's why Draupadi became a great, exalted spiritual lady. So we can get the teachings from the Ramayana. If our heart is not to be compassionate for the other souls, not only my friend, relatives, as much as we are extending our compassion to the living entity, that much we can get the spiritual vision, spiritual expression, spiritual behavior, spiritual action will come to our life. Otherwise, it never can come. That's why we need to cultivate in our life the compassion to the others. Just like we can see Prabhupada, he's so compassionate. He never can think about it. These people are like a malicious, these people are sinful, these people are drunkard. Prabhupada is compassionate to them. They are the part and parcel of the Krishna. So why are they are bereft from the spirituality? That's why Krishna empowered the Prabhupada to relieve them from the mundane to come to the spiritual. So those who become the exalted person, they need to cultivate, they need to practice in their life how to be compassionate to the other living entities. Understand? Some in this material world, some of the people speak about the compassion, but they are cutting the animal and they are eating. This is not compassion. Compassion means you have to be like a compassionate to each and every souls. The pardon to look everything is a spiritual. That is our Chaitanya Charitamrita also says that. Sthavara jangama dekhe na dekhe tar murti. Jaha spure taha dekhe Krishna spure. So whatever you can see in this world, everything you can see, as the part and parcel of Krishna. That as much as your patient, our patient will be like that, then we become like a great soul. That's one of the very popular and very good one of the word from the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna wanted to say that Arjuna indirectly. If you want to be a great, first you have to be a grateful. A compassionate soul always to be a grateful. So you have to understand that. If you're not to be compassionate to other person, you never can distributing the Krishna consciousness to any other person. If we are thinking, oh, this is black people, oh, this is brown people, oh, they are not rich, they are poor, they are illiterate, then you never can distributing the Krishna consciousness. If you want to preach, if you wanted to make the people in spiritual, if you wanted to give yourself to other person, then first we have to cultivate the compassion to others. And that not only coming by listening, we need to associating with that kind of compassionate soul. Whenever we get their association, in our heart is coming to compassion. Coming to compassion. We can see our His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. He's so compassionate, still his body not working. He's lying down in the death bed, but still to give the Krishna consciousness, to give the spirituality, is to moving here and there. That's why Krishna is giving his power, that you can travel, you can go here and there and distributing and relieve the people from mundane to spiritual. That's why we need to cultivate ourselves like this. Even you see, in your family, if you wanted to bring the peace, you need to do compassion. Some of the husband is ruling like a wife, like a steamroller. No, if you want to be a peace in your family, in your husband, wife, and children, you need to compassion. You have to think about. She's also one of the lady. She's a human being. She is the part and parcel of Krishna. So when you are just to assisting, when you are just to helping, then your life will be more just like a spiritual, very peace. But when you think about, oh, is my wife, is like my toys, understand? That's why we need to compassion. We need to cultivate the compassion. That is Valmiki Muni says here. Thereafter, Valmiki bathed in the river Tamasha, and Valmiki uh, bathed in the river Tamasha and returned to his ashram with Varadas. It is one of the teachings for us also. Whenever you are going to the holy place, if you get the holy river, you need to dip in the river. Because in the holy place, the holy river is more the highly elevated than other place of the river. Why? Because in a holy place, the holy river, so many exalted personalities in deep in the water wash their feet. So by the dust of the exalted personalities, when our body is bathing, then we are relieved from the clusters of the Maya. That's why Valmiki Muni was just to bathe in the river Tamosha and return to his ashram with the Bharadas. Bharadas is the disciple. Why? Uh, continue containing continuing to meditate upon his scars of the hunter, he suddenly saw Lord Brahma descended from his abode. It is another teachings from the Ramayana. When you do some guilty things, when you uttering something bad things, or when you do something wrong, we need to regret it. A regretted soul become a great soul. The Valmiki Muni, in our material vision, he didn't do any bad things because the Nishad did bad things. He killed, he pierced the one of the female male bar. So that time he cursed. So it is not an offense he did, but still he's feeling I did something offense. And he's contemplating again and again. He just to meditating his cards that what I did, what I did, what I did. So it is a teachings for us. Whenever we did something wrong thing, we again and again regretting in our heart that I did a mistake. I did a mistake. Then our heart will be cleansed. So Lord Brahma descending from his abode, the topmost planet within the universe, overwhelmed with wonder and the jubilation, the speechless Valmiki stood up to receive the firstborn being of this universe. So when Lord Brahma saw that Valmiki is feeling so pain in the heart that he did a mistake, he uttering the bad cards, immediately Lord Brahma descended. So it is one of the teachings we can get from Ramayana. When we did something wrong and in our heart, for these things we are really from the heart, we are regretting. Krishna is sending one person in your life who will relieve from this. If Valmiki Muni never regretting, Lord Brahma never can come. So it is one of the teachings for us. To do some mistake is not a great offense. But to understand the mistake, if you are not to submissive, if you are not to regretting, that's a great offense. A human being obviously can do some mistakes. That's not a great problem. But to understand that, after that, if you are not to regretting, that's a great offense. But if you really feeling the from your heart that I did something mistakes, immediately you'll see the Lord will arrangement something how to relieve from this regretness. Just like Lord Rama is sending to Brahma that you go and tell to Valmiki that this situation actually organized by by my order. Okay. So when Lord Brahma appeared before him, Valmiki offered his respectful obeisances and worshipped Lord Brahma with a great awe and reverence. So it is another teachings. When you will see some exalted personalities, spiritual personalities, we should stand up, pay obeisances, and show our respect. Show our respect. It is proper in one class, it says, when you will show the respect to the spiritual person, exalted person, then that personality's quality will come to our life. But if we are not to show the respect, then all kinds of our wealth, fame, name, our honesty, our everything will go out. It is a scripture says. That's why you need to show the respect to the exalted person. Then Lord Brahma, the universal grandsire, who can understand the hearts of everyone, said, "Oh, blessed says, please do not grieve by thinking you have wrongly cursed the Nishad hunter. In truth, the words that you appear to utter in anger were my own." The Brahma said, "It's not your word, it's my word. I am from your tongue, is uttering that word, that curse. They were spoken through your mouth for the purpose of inspiring you to accomplish a great task." That's why it is a teachings for us. Something in our life happening, everything is not by our consciousness. Something is spiritual consciousness we have to do something. That's why we have to understand in our life what is going on. Everything is a teachings. Everything is a something blessings for us. A spiritual person can understand that. Material people never can understand that. So whatever is happening in our life, either in a good way, either in a bad way, everything is a blessings for us. Because always we can see good way things happen, then we can understand it is a blessings for us. But you can ask how it is bad things is going in my life, how it is blessings for us. Because if the bad days, but bad thing or bad situation never can come in your life, you maybe not understand that how to deal with that situation, how to know about that person. That's why it's a blessings. If the bad days, the bad situation, the bad rainy day never can come in your life, how can you understand the situation to handle? How can you understand that person? That's why it's the blessings. That's why we have to see everything in a spiritual vision. Then we can understand. But if we are just to putting our eye in front of our eyes in the material glass, we everything never can see the perfect way. Thus, we need to see everything in a spiritual vision. Then you can become one day great personalities. The Lord will using you to do some great things. They were spoken through your mouth for the purpose of inspiring you to accomplish a great task. Indeed, the time has come for you to compose the history of Lord Ramchandra's life. Great transcendental pastimes meant for the ultimate welfare of the Lord. Here is one of the teachings. Before Krishna wanted to do something great things in your life, from through you, not in you, from our life, he will throw me in a situation that every people don't like or we are regretting. Then we can do that work is very nice. Like I give you one example, just like a Prabhupada. Prabhupada was thinking, maybe I can't do anything because my family don't like me, my children don't like me, my God brothers don't like me. So even his business crashed down, everything. That time Krishna is using him as an instrument to do some great things. So it is a teachings. Also, Valmiki's life. When Lord Ramchandra to writing the Ramayana with the Valmiki, before in his heart to coming some angriness and did some mistake. And for this mistake, he's overcome this mistake, overcome that curse. He need to be more devoted. So you have to understand, sometimes some wrong situation is coming to our life in a not a for the bad way. Sometimes some bad situation is coming to our life to be moved forward to extraordinary work to doing through ourselves. For these things, Krishna is creating that situation. For these things. So always to understand, every bad situation is not coming through our karma. Some bad situation is coming to move forward to the success. That is also very crucial point we should learn. That's why every lamentation, every failure, every like a breakup, every crash down, not to take it is my karma. You have to think about it's my success. It's to be go very quick, closer. So remind this word. If Balmiki's life not to coming to this bad situation, his mouth never can uttering that poetic sound. And he never can choosing to become a Ramayana writer. So it's not his karma. Lord is saying, it is creating by my order. So all the situation is not every time coming through our karma. Sometime something is Krishna is creating to move forward to us to the success. That is the teachings from the Ramayana. So today I shall stop here. The next, the tomorrow, actually today's Sunday, I starting today, but I will generally to give the class Monday, Saturday, Monday, and Thursday. Because I know Sunday somebody can go to here and there. Saturday, Sunday somebody can go to the temple or here and there. But I starting today. So please try to come every Saturday, Monday, and Thursday, Indian time, IST is 6 p.m. to like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. We are just to reading the Ramayana and get the teachings for our life. Because if you want to the success, you need some teachings. Otherwise, you can get the see the success or the peace in your life. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Ramchandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Haribol. So those who are our Instagram devotees are like this class to you can tell your friends and family they can also come and join, or if you directly come to join our Zoom class, then you also to personally to write to me in WhatsApp. I'll try to help you to bring in the Zoom class. Hare Krishna.